you talk if you let me talk. Kayode.
That's why more and more Lagosians are tuning in.
500,000 Lagosians.
720,000.
970,000.
Over 1 million Lagosians listening to Hard Facts. They know that if you give me your afternoon, I will give you hard facts.
Well done, Sandra, on all you do, going beyond the headlines and focusing on the facts.
I am Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts.
Hello, Lagos. Good afternoon. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts. I was listening to the conversation that you were having on my way into work today, and I found something one of the callers called in to say very interesting. He called in and he said that a lot of young people in Nigeria are the way they are and are, lacking in values and morals and breaking all the laws that they are and going after money the way they are because of Nigeria's leaders, that the leadership is the problem. And while that guy was talking, I was in traffic, right? But it wasn't really traffic. It was the traffic lights that stopped us, right? And the traffic light had gone red and I'd stopped and, the car in front of me had stopped as well. But in the next lane, you found a number of people flying by that red light. Like zoom, zoom, zoom. And funny, I was watching those people and listening to that guy on air. Just before I came on air, having that conversation about how the problem of the country is the leaders. And I said to myself, one of the people who's calling into the show right now to have this conversation about, whose fault it is that things are the way they are, it's probably one of the people who's beating this traffic light that was put there for their own good. Nigerian politicians are not on the road with you. They're not in your car. Did not force you to break the traffic light. You did that all on your own. The BBC just released a documentary about pensions and pensioners. The people who are sitting on those pensions and who are trying to get the pensioners who have worked more than 30 years to prove that they're still alive. They're you. They're your wives. They're your husbands. They're your grandmothers. They're your parents. They're sitting on people's pensions, people they know very well are alive, and they're forcing them to prove that they are alive before they can get access to their pensions. You go to see somebody in an office somewhere, and you have some nice-looking lady as the receptionist, and she says, you can't see Oga. Oga is around, though. You can see Oga, but what she's saying to you inadvertently is drop something. And yes, you will argue with me and you say, Sandra, the only reason she does that is because her minimum wage is 30,000. She has to find some other way to survive. Well, does she have to ask for a bribe to do it? Does she? So, you can say, the Nigerian situation or the Nigerian leaders are the ones that forced her to ask for bribes. But there are other receptionists that are not asking for bribes. There's a lot of willingness to abdicate responsibility. Like we are so willing as a people to abdicate responsibility. The devil made me do it. The government is to blame. Everybody else is always to blame, but you. I think if we can fix that, and if you look at our relationship with culture and religion and juju and our belief in those things, you see how they help us abdicate responsibility. I think that if every single Nigerian, the average Nigerian, can begin to say, no, this thing will happen na me cause I'm responsible. I take full responsibility for my actions. It wasn't the devil. No, I did it. I think if we can begin to do that, then even the worst of us, when they represent us as leaders, perhaps they'll be good leaders. If we can begin with things as simple yet difficult as taking responsibility for our actions. I just wanted to get that off my chest because I was listening to that conversation and watching that man break traffic light. And that man will call the radio and blame Buhari for his problems, or blame Sanwo-Olu for his problems, or blame Guru for his problems, or blame Wike, or, Fulani herdsmen. Lagos. First hard fact of the day, 126 new confirmed COVID cases over the weekend. That's 5 fewer cases than last weekend, but still in the same ballpark. So let's not relax, I beg. Last Friday on Big 3 Global, we talked about how COVID is resurging in India. So as long as COVID is still out there, let's not get caught slipping. Keep your guard up. Limit your movement to the essential things. Thankfully, the Nigerian government is doing something to ensure that at least the COVID doesn't come in, with flights coming from India and Brazil and a bunch of other places. Wear a mask when you do have to go out. Keep your distance where possible, and wash your hands as often as possible. Sanitize your hands as often as possible. 1 million negotiations cannot be wrong, so keep listening to Hard Facts, huh? Starting with the big weekend, let's talk about the abduction and murder of Ini Umoren. This is a terrible, horrific, outrageous story that shook Nigeria this weekend. That's what we'll talk about on today's Big Weekend. On Madam Landlord, let's talk about security deposits or caution fees. I'm sure many of you have had some issues with caution fees in the past. Maybe you are a tenant who moved out and never got back your caution fee, like me. Or maybe you are a landlord who has had to deal with making repairs out of pocket after a tenant has moved out. We're going to be talking with a lawyer, Jerry Okeke. He'll tell us what the law says and how you should navigate caution fees as a landlord or a tenant. On today's Big Hard Fact, we'll talk about the security situation in Nigeria. We had a great conversation last week with Confidence Makhari and Abdullahi Murtala, and they'll be back today at 5 o'clock. News updates will come your way at the top of every hour on the hour. Listen to every minute if you want to win on just a minute today. But let's get started with the big weekend.
The big weekend.
How did you react to the news of Ini Umoren's murder? Did the police and authorities handle Ini's case properly? How can law enforcement fight employment scams? And does Twitter, social media, solve crimes faster than the police? It was a big weekend, Lagos. Let's talk about it. It's the same story, but there are multiple angles to this singular story, and that's what we're going to stay on for the next 15 minutes, thereabouts. Now, as far as I'm concerned, this murder of Ini Umoren was the singular most important story of the weekend. She was a young woman in Uyo, Akwa Ibom. She went missing after going for a job interview. And now the police has confirmed she was murdered. So let's start from the beginning. Uduakomo, Ini's friend, came on Twitter on Thursday to announce that she was missing and to ask for help looking for her. She said the last time they spoke, Ini was on her way to a job interview. She shared the phone number of the person that she was meeting and the area that she was going to. She also turned her phone's location on. After a while, Ini sent a voice note to Uduak on WhatsApp. A 1-second voice note. He didn't say anything, so Uduak called her. Uduak said that when the call connected, she heard her friend scream, and the line went dead. So Uduak came to Twitter to ask for help. And Nigerians on Twitter really came forward. They used the phone number that Ini shared to get the identity of the person that she was going to meet. We're going to get into that some more afterwards, right? But yeah, people on social media dug up all of this information, shared it with the public, shared it with the police. So the police moved in, arrested a suspect. And then we heard the police themselves. Now, if you're watching us on Facebook, we're going to play footage of the police talking about this particular situation. But if you cannot watch on Facebook at the moment, I have the audio for you, and I do hope that you can listen.
dismemberment if it has to do with occultive or removing of essential. But this was sexual assault issue, and then it resulted to physical assault when she resisted, and then he felt, look, in fact, she used, he said she used a weapon. By that I mean she used an object on him first, so she now used it back on him, and that was what. So that's it. It's not as if no part of her has been dismembered. Any other person, please. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. God bless you.
So the police have said that Uduak Frank Akban, the suspect, allegedly confessed to raping and killing Ini Umoren. But notice how the police are saying it. Did you notice that? They're saying that it was self-defense, because when he attacked her, she fought back, and that's why he killed her. Now, lawyers online are outraged because they say that the only person who can claim self-defense is the original victim of the attack. If I attack you and you defend yourself by attacking me back, that's self-defense. But if I attack you back, that's not self-defense. That's just me continuing the attack. So lawyers are wondering why the police PRO in Akwa Ibom chose to frame the statement in that way. But back to Ini Umoren, she's dead, murdered for standing up to her rapist, raped because she went to look for a job. Now, before we go into further details, Lagos, tell me what you think about this story. Were you following this story over the weekend? Are you just finding out about it today? What's your reaction to this story? What did you think? How did you react when you first heard about this story? 0700-993-993-993 0700-993-993. You can also share your thoughts with me via WhatsApp. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. We have a number for women only. For women, it's 01-465-7190. That's our number for female callers. For men, it's 0700-993-993-993. But for women, it is 01-465-7190. We've got Olumide in Ikorodu calling. Olumide, welcome.
Yeah, Sandra, afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Quite an age. All right. So on the topic, it's really is like a very bad scenario, of course.
Were you following the story over the weekend?
No. It was actually when Mimo should I heard about
For
the
the first
story
time.
this
Okay.
morning. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
So what you just said now about the police trying to, I don't know, it's very, there's no need to actually think too much about it. I attack you initially to harm you. You go for the self-defense, right? And then I who was to attack in the first place, try other means to, make sure I carry out my plan. That's not self-defense anymore. That's not self-defense anymore. So I don't know where the police is coming up with their story, okay? That's what I want to contribute. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Olumide, for calling. 99.3, thank you very much for calling. Hello?
Hello.
How are you? What's your name?
I'm fine. Good afternoon, Auntie Sandra. Good afternoon. This is Mr. Frank from Ojo Alaba.
Welcome, Mr. Frank. Were you following this story over the weekend?
Yes. We talked about it on the yesterday.
Okay. Tell me what you thought about it.
You see, this particular matter, when I heard it, I was highly annoyed.
Okay.
Because this lady have finished going to school. Now, she went out to look for a job, to earn her living. She didn't do bad. But for somebody to say that he wants to give her a job, then this lady went there, then to go, then you offer her a job. Then you diverted it to rape her. Maybe she was trying to secure herself or something like that. Then you went ahead to kill an innocent girl. The only problem I will have with government, if that boy will still be alive till this weekend, that boy is not supposed to be killed just with a gun or with a knife. He was supposed to call caterpillar and dig a very big hole, bring this one, put inside there, and be covering the hole, small, little by little, so that he will see himself dying. Because I don't know the kind of mind people are having in this country. If you don't have a job, leave the innocent girl. She'll take care of herself. Now you have killed her just for not. If she wants sex, there are sex workers everywhere. You want to kill the girl? Let government destroy that boy, not to kill. Let him destroy and grind. Let them grind that boy. That is my own take, and they should do it because tomorrow now somebody might come out and start defending, or something might happen and they will say, okay, release him. Somebody might go from the back to pay money to release that boy, and if they release that boy, the blood of that innocent girl will attack them all.
Thank you very much for calling, Frank. 99.3.
Hello?
Thank you for calling. What's your name?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name? Sorry about that. Call back if you can. Kayode Nikorodu, hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Were you following this story over the weekend?
Yeah. I think the story broke like Thursday or something.
Yes.
On Twitter or something.
Yes.
So I've been following, but it's quite unfortunate that the lady died.
Yeah.
And for me, for the policeman, whatever he has said, is number one, is hasty. He's not a medical doctor. He's not even in any position to confirm if they've removed any part of that leak. He's just showing some of the things we say in this country, that the corruption is everywhere. They should have a coroner or something that will carry out autopsy and give valid report on whatever happens to the lady, not a PRO coming out hastily to just say with the bunker and say it's just a mere case of. Can you imagine thoughts like that? That shows maybe they are taking side already. It's part of things we're actually talking about. That things are not done the way it should be done in this country. Quite sad.
It is indeed. Thank you very much for calling. If you just joined the show, hello to you. You're listening to Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info. And a really shocking story broke over the weekend. Started on Thursday. Udwak Omor, Ini's friend, came to Twitter on Thursday to announce that she was missing, ask for help looking for her. She said that the last time they spoke, Ini Umoren, who was murdered over the weekend, was on her way to a job interview. She shared the phone number of the person that she was meeting, the area where she was going to for the interview. She also turned on the location of her phone. After a while, Ini sent her a 1-second voice note on WhatsApp. He didn't say anything, so Udwak called her. And when the call connected, she heard her friend screaming on the phone. And then the line went dead. So Udwak came on Twitter to ask for help. Nigerians on Twitter really came forward, used the phone number that Ini shared to get the identity of the person, dug up everything they could dig up on social media about this person, shared it with the police, shared it in public. Police moved in, arrested a suspect, and then we heard from the police themselves. If you missed it the first time I played it, well, let me play it for you one more time. You can also watch it on Facebook, Nigeria Info 99.3.
Dismemberment, if it has to do with occultic or removing of essential, but this was sexual assault issue, and then it resulted to physical assault when she resisted, and then he felt, look, in fact, she used, he said she used a weapon. By that time, she used an object on him first, so she now used it back on him, and that was what. So that's it. It's not as if no part of her has been dismembered. Any other person, please. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. God bless you.
If you listen to that, you heard the police PRO say that Udwak Frank Apman, the suspect, allegedly confessed to raping and killing Ini. They're saying that Udwak is claiming self-defense because when he attacked her, she fought back, and that's why he killed her. Now, I told you that lawyers online have said that the person who can claim self-defense here is Ini Umoren, because she was attacked. She defended herself by attacking her attacker back. That's what self-defense is. right? So the lawyers are wondering why the PRO in Akwa Ibom chose to frame the statement the way he did. We've got Dumebi in Oba on the line. I hope he's still there. Dumebi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm still here. Good afternoon, Sandra.
Good afternoon. Were you following this story over the weekend?
Yeah, I think I stumbled on it yesterday evening on Twitter.
Okay.
Yes, and what really my first interest was the pinned tweet of the lady.
Yeah.
You know, and that of course will enable you to
see everything else.
Assess, her level of mind. You know, she said she's a creative person and some other things and stuff like that. You know, so the way that tweet is expressed tells you that this was someone who was genuinely looking for a means of livelihood. Okay, and of course I've listened to the police spokesperson, and his statement actually betrays an assumption of some sort of position, you know, because if you say that the guy has made a confessional statement and he said that the girl struck him first. Now, the question is, why was the girl in the U in the first place? The girl was in the U because she was contacted for the possibility of getting a job. She didn't go there to fight anybody. So whatever the girl did there in self-defense should not be taken to be that she was the one who attacked first. So it is very wrong. The position the police has taken is very wrong, you know, because you could see the way he even answered the question. He said no part of the body was removed. And next question, meaning, see, we're not here to look at the facts the way they are. We are here to look at the facts the way we intend to present them. So it's very horrible. And of course, like people have expressed, Nigerians would like to see how this matter will go. And of course, it should go the right way by allowing the law to take its natural course.
Thank you very much, Nimi, for calling. We appreciate it. The number to call is 0700-993-993-993. We also have for women 01465-7190. 01465-7190. You can send us a message via WhatsApp. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. We're going to talk about how the police and the government have handled this case in a bit, but we'll take a call, take a break, come back, and then talk about that. 99.3. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. Thanks for calling. What's your name?
My name is Jessica, calling from Yaba.
Welcome, Jessica. Go ahead.
Thank you. That story is just a very, very, very sad story. I mean, just a young girl looking for, you know, a source of living, and then she got killed in the process. If actually it wasn't because of social media, they would have thought, oh, they used her for money ritual. Oh, she went sleeping around and a whole lot of stuff. But thanks to social media that actually brought out the whole fact and stuff. And I don't understand why the police is saying she actually, he was trying to rape her. So she was actually supposed to defend, right? She's actually supposed to fight back.
Yeah.
So yes, fighting back should actually be expected. So she fighting back, or she, hitting the guy. It wasn't like she didn't go there to actually fight the guy. She went there to look for a job. But she got there and saw another aspect of life, and then she has to fight back too. So she fighting back wasn't like it was a source of self-defense for the girl, but not him killing her. He killing her wasn't a source of
it wasn't self-defense, yeah.
Yes.
Him killing her was escalating what he already started.
Exactly. So the girl was only just trying to, fight back what he has already started. Basically, she only continued what he has already started. And I don't understand what the police meant by no part of her body was removed, or why though? And then he said next, I don't know, but I just hope they handle this issue well, because there are a whole lot of rapists out there, and this guy should be served as an example to actually deal with them, because I don't understand what they say. Okay, whenever you're going to a place where maybe whenever you're going for a job interview on your location, do this, do that, do this. Yes, we should, but at the same time, they should try as much as possible to stop those rapists from actually raping girls, because it's really getting too much.
All right. Thank you very much for calling. I appreciate it, Jessica. Let's talk about how the police and the government have handled this case. A lot of Nigerians were concerned that the response wasn't quick enough. Apparently, the police cannot react to a missing persons report immediately they get it. They have to wait for some time to confirm that the person is truly missing. So a lot of people feel that this delay makes it harder to find someone sometimes. But on the other hand, some people feel that the delay is necessary so that police can separate legit cases from hoaxes. But beyond the police, there are concerns about how other government officials handled the case. So, for example, the police claim that the suspect confessed to his local government chairman. But when that happened, the police was not called. Instead, the suspect was able to escape to Cross River State. I really want us to talk about that. If it is true, why didn't the local government chairman call police? Whose interest was the local government chairman protecting? The dead victim or the living suspect? And then there's also the issue of how Ini's family have been treated. They are complaining that they haven't been given access to their loved one's body. If you're watching on Facebook, I'm about to play you another video. But if you cannot watch, Facebook Nigeria Info 99.3, YouTube Nigeria Info FM. If you cannot watch, here's the audio.
She has been taken to the hospital. When I am
Who does that? Who does that? Please bring my sister. I want to see my sister's stuff. I want to see my Honorable Commissioner of Police, PPRO. We have been waiting for you since morning in this place because we asked us to wait. Up to now, we have not seen our sister's cups. I'm taking our sister to the teaching hospital. Bring her here. I want to see my sister. What is going on? Bring my sister. The mother has killed my sister. It's okay. Bring her. I want to see her. I want to see my sister. Why are you taking my sister to? Even though you should take my sister to the food, you should have been from my own concept. You bring my sister.
Now, when the family members made those demands, here's what the police PRO said.
And then, of course, understand with us, give us chance to be able to do what we needed to do. Indeed, he assaulted her both sexually and physically, and thereafter, when we caught him, after he had confessed, he was able to take us to a shallow grave where he buried her, and we were able to exhume the body. As I speak, the body has been deposited at UUPH. The essence of doing that is so that autopsy can be conducted. Now, if you do not...
All right, Lagos, I'm curious what your thoughts are. What do you think about the way police have handled this case? What do you think about the revelation that Oduak Frank Akpan, the suspect, told the police that he confessed to his local government chairman? And what do you think about the fact that the local government chairman did not call the police, did not turn in Oduak Frank Akpan? 0700-993-993-993 01465-7190. Hello, thank you for calling us.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
Yeah, what is there is that?
What's your name?
Oh, my name is Ahigbe.
Welcome, Ahigbe. Go ahead.
The police have autonomous right to examine a criminal case, not an individual or not the family of the person. It is when the police have finished examination or the criminal case or autopsy that the family cannot come in and do whatever they want to examine outside what police has examined, and they can still make reports. But outside that one, we still have to ask the Nigeria government, when they say they are doing restructuring, what are they really? Is it the road or electricity that they want to add that is restructuring? Because restructuring has to start from the grassroots. The local government where that incident takes place, they have councillor that is within the jurisdiction of where that incident takes place. So anybody seeking for a job, seeking for employment, should go to the the councillor's office, which is the nearest, the grassroots of the people, and register. But none of this thing is in existence. And you journalists have not made any impact that a councillor is supposed to exist. And then any person that wants employment should go and register. That is a company that wants people to be employed through the councillor. They now send employees to them. So what is the purpose of the labor? Are they to cater for what they call it, the scholar job or the ministry alone? So these are the restructuring, which is not taking place at all. For how many years now? We are more than 60 years. This elementary setup is not there. And we have a bunch of journalists. We have the lawyer. We have the human rights. None of them is talking about restructuring of human beings and information. So the blame is so on you people because they are tolling on our feelings. One woman came here to local government here, local government. He said he need employment for people for airport. And that is, they have new airline. He started collecting money from employees who are desperate and ran away.
But that's
the thing. The councillor office.
But that's
the councillor now refer her to the local government. The local government will handle the situation. They know the data. Everybody go full of data.
Restructuring is not needed to achieve this. The state and local governments already have the right to set up employment matching programs. And hold on. Listen. Hold on. Mrs. Aigbe, listen. Now you can blame the media for it, but even if the media is not putting pressure, what about the voters? As a citizen, have you put pressure on government to do it?
The only way I can put pressure individually is through the radio because everybody is hearing my voice.
All right. Thank you very much for calling. We've got Ezekiel in Aja. Hello, Ezekiel.
Yeah, Sandra.
Thanks for calling.
Please, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Let me say this. Whenever you journalists are hankering program or entertaining our opinions, you people should not, as in, say that, have we agitated enough, like, to get government accountable to us? You are not new in this country. You are not new. If individuals have not been agitating for some certain things, you yourself, as you are seated there, we know how you handle some certain things as to the way you talk sometimes, or some certain matter that you are not happy about the Nigerian government system. Now, when we talk about police, Sandra, there was a girl that was invited into your program one of these days. He's talking about what police really stand for. He said police stands for politeness, obedience, loyalty, integrity, confidence, and endurance. Now, if you look at 90% of the police force today, they lack this quality. Now, the reason why you see those people there talking, agitating, is because they know that they have no confidence in the police force. Now, look at several cases like that, several cases of this so-called rape and sexual abuse that we are talking about. You discover that by the time you get the position to even report, the kind of question will even be asking you. You ask yourself that what the hell are all these people doing here? So the point remains that justice in everything should prevail, and it should not be delayed. That's my conclusion. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling, Ezekiel. Now, Twitter found the name and address of Ini Umoren's suspected killer. That's one of the most remarkable parts of this story. When Oduak Umor first came to Twitter to say that her friend was missing, all she had was a phone number and a general meeting location. People on Twitter used that phone number to run search on different platforms like Facebook, Nairaland, Twitter, and that search turned up lots of information. First and most importantly, we got a name, Oduak Frank Akpan. Then they found his handles on various social media sites. Then they found out his phone numbers and social media handles had been involved in multiple scams before. Then a few women stepped forward to talk about his alleged track record as a rapist. Before long, private citizens on Twitter had patched together a picture of what Oduak Frank Akpan and his family members had allegedly been doing for the past few years. Yes, I said his family members. They're accusing his father and sister of allegedly being his accomplices. some of the reports we're hearing is that when Uduak felt a lot of the heat happening on social media and the search for Ini Umoren was getting hotter and hotter, he handed over Ini to his father, who then handed Ini over to his sister. So I want us to talk about this investigation. A lot of the times, a lot of cases go unsolved because we say the police don't have the resources for solving them. But we saw that young people with no government resources at all were able to, during one weekend, dig up information that the police used to catch Uduak Frankakpan, who has now confessed to rape and murder. So the question a lot of people are asking is the Nigeria police force capable of doing the same thing on other cases? Now, of course, you can still tell me what you think about the fact that Uduak Frankakpan allegedly confessed to the local government chairman. And the local government chairman did not turn him into the police. Why is that? What do you think about that happening? Do you think that the police can do what the people of Twitter did this weekend to find Ini's killer? If they cannot do it, why can't they do it? Are you in the police force? What do you think about what Twitter did with investigations this weekend? I mean, it didn't cost Twitter people any money to do it, oh. They didn't need any special equipment beyond their smartphones, right? So is the policing problem a funding and equipment problem, or is it a training and skills problem? So many angles, like I said, so many angles to this story that broke over the weekend. We've got Chinwe in Belgada on the line. Chinwe, how are you?
I'm fine, Sandra. Good evening.
Good evening. Thanks for calling.
Well, I'm an adept listener, but a first time caller on your show.
Thank you very much for calling today.
Yes. What my thoughts, like you say, our police has everything to find out whatever happens in this country. They are able to, we have intelligent police people, but the problem is the Nigerian problem. People don't like saying the truth. On the other hand, the local government chairman, from what you say, that this man went to him to report, that means he has a link with that local government chairman. And why going there to report? He wants his strength. He wants him to be defended. And that is why, me personally, I think the police is coming out to give report. The way they are talking shows that there is something going on there. And this guy has a link with not that maybe the man is an accomplice, we think no, but he wants this local government person, chairman or whatever, to defend him. That is my own thought. And the man did not come out to say anything or to even accuse him of doing something wrong. What he did is very bad. And he's supposed to be handed over to the police to do something about him seriously.
Well, he is in police custody at the moment, and we're paying attention to that story. Hopefully, investigations go well. Chinwe, thank you very much for calling, and thank you for listening to the show all the time. Let's go to Twitter now. On Twitter, Olaide Cruz says there must be a strong punishment for this guy that raped and killed that lady. Nigeria needs a strong law to protect women and minors against rape. Police PRO was narrating a big crime in a less offensive way. Justice must be duly served. He must face his crime. We've got Babs Adex, who says, we, the citizens, need to verify information these days, as security is now everybody's business. Several people often receive such messages from unknown users. That's what we're going to talk about next. We're going to talk about job scams next. We've got Demola in Ikorodu on the line. Hello, Demola.
Hello, good afternoon, Sandra.
Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Yes, just a little bit about the case of the Akwa Ibom case.
Right.
You see, one, the police is still investigating.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at that case, if you look at that boy, this is not his first rape victim.
Mm-hmm.
He has been doing it before, but it's like those ones that he has been doing that has never resulted to death. But this one that resulted to death,
okay.
I don't know the boy, but it's like the parents are highly connected or rich in one way or the other.
Okay.
Are you getting it?
Okay.
Now, if you listen to the report of the PRO of the police, only one person gives statement, which happens to be the boy.
Right.
So whatever statement the boy gives is what the police are trying to work on.
Okay.
And thank God for members of the Twitter family who were able to dig out information concerning the boy. Now, let us look at the case of the police. The police said the boy said the girl attacked him first. So he now tries to defend himself. That was the report the boy gave to the police.
No, the police said that he tried to rape her, then the girl attacked him. She picked up something
that's
to
what
attack
I'm saying.
him.
The boy attacked. Now, the police still have a lot of work to do, which I know they will do. But one thing I want us to do and follow up on is on the parents of the boy. How connected and how influential are they in that community where the incident happens? Are we getting it? Because those are the people. If the girl have not died, nothing will happen. I'm telling you, Sandra, nothing will happen. If the girl have not died, it was just the death that brought out the bad way, or how would I put it? Those criminal activities the boy has been committed before. So I would like us to leave the police, to let the police do their job. And also, I will say thank you to the Twitter community who were able to dig out more information concerning the boy.
Can I ask you something before you go?
Yes, ma'am.
Why do you think that the Twitter community was able to dig out information about this person in 48 hours, but it doesn't seem that like the police can do the same?
Sandra, yeah, it's a good question. Let me tell you something. You see, when it comes to investigation, when it comes to relay informations, the outside community sometimes has this information better than the police. Are you getting it? See, when something happens in a place, sometimes the police are not always there.
Yeah, but the people on Twitter were not there. They just searched and found the name of the person, and they were sharing information online.
Most people who knows the boy might have been the one that gives information. You see, most people on Twitter who gave police information, just by knowing that name, will be able to say, this is Charles now. Charles owns this number, and they knows those activity of the boy before.
No, let me tell you what happened. People who searched online found so they took all they had was this person's phone number, right? And they now searched online and found him in different places, then found that different people had reported that he had either scammed them or raped them, and then they now started finding where he has eaten before, the restaurant where he eats. The woman now came out and said, oh, he comes to eat here. Then other people are like, oh, he does different scams. They searched online using phone number. They didn't ask anybody anything. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not saying they asked anybody anything. I'm saying that most people who went online to do the search might have been his friend or those people he has
No. It's just regular people like me and you on social media who just picked interest in the story.
Okay.
That's it. So that's the question I'm asking. And these people didn't spend any money to do it. So my question is, can the police do what they did? And if they can't do it, why can't they do it?
And one thing I know about the Nigerian police is that, to my understanding, because my uncle was a retired assistant commissioner of police, I know if police wants to do their job, they will do it. But this issue of if you don't give, they don't find, has been what has brought down the morale of the police. And one thing I know is that police does their work if they really wants to do it.
So it's a matter of political will.
Political will.
So they can do it, but now
they can do it. Nigerian police, they are good. If they want to dog out information about anybody, Nigerian police can do it very, very well.
But now,
unless if they don't want to do it, even if you lose your set, if Nigerian police wants to help you to recover your set in 48 hours, they can do it. They have the resources, they have everything in their possession to do it.
So the problem is the personnel.
Yes. The problem is the personnel. Forget it. The problem is the personnel. It's not that they don't have the equipment. They have the equipment. They have the resources. They have the connections. They have everything to dig out information about anybody in less than 24 hours.
Demola, thank you very much for calling. I appreciate it. We've got 13 minutes until we have to switch gears and talk about caution deposits. Don't forget, that's the conversation we're having between 4 and 5. Have you ever gotten your caution deposit back? As a landlord, what's your history with caution deposits? That conversation will happen between 4 and 5, so don't miss it. We've got Kevin in Surulere on the line. Hello, Kevin. Thank you very much for calling.
Yes, good afternoon on a rainy Monday.
Is this my Kevin from Friday?
Yes,
Oh, okay. Very well. Thanks for calling.
Yes, it's a very sad story. Very, very sad.
Yeah.
A lot of men are losing their sense of decency. You know, life of a young girl has been cut short here. At the time, she will begin to explore life possibilities.
Yeah.
A life has just been wasted, just like that. I don't know what is wrong with us as a people. A lot of men are losing their sense of decency. In this, what is happening to us as a people? You know, I don't want to start going into the issue of what happened and what did not happen. The main issue here now is that a family is mourning.
Yeah.
Family is mourning. And you see, everybody that is involved in this, I've heard you talk about the local government chairman and the rest of them. All of them should be investigated thoroughly. You know, this kind of case, I give thumbs up to Lagos State. In this kind of cases, they don't joke with it. You know, so I even want the state government to, you know, to also get involved in this matter. The death of this girl must not go in vain. This man is heartless. You know, I don't know what is. I've been reading the story at a point I stopped reading because I became emotional. Just waste the youngest like just like that because you're a randy man. What is wrong with us? Oh, Sandra, have a nice afternoon.
You too, Kevin. Thank you very much for calling. Now, let's talk about how dangerous job hunting has become for so many young Nigerians. Let's talk about that. How dangerous it's become for so many young Nigerians. Ini Umoren just wanted a job. She didn't want to steal. She didn't want quick money. She just wanted honest work. So she went on Twitter to ask for work, offered to share her CV with anyone who would connect her to an employer, and somebody got in contact with her, told her about a job interview. That's where she thought she was going. She didn't know she was going to her death. Udwak Frank Akban allegedly used an employment scam that day, but he wouldn't be the first. He wouldn't be the last. You see so many of them in Nigeria now. I can't even count the number of times that my younger brother or somebody I know, myself, Seth, has received an SMS or an email or a WhatsApp message about a job interview or placement exam somewhere. And because these young people are actively looking for work, so many of them go down to those places. Sometimes when they get there, they are just scammed out of money. Other times it's more dangerous, like a robbery or a rape. Or a rape and a murder, like Ini Umoren. Now, we have to ask ourselves some questions. Why do we have so many of these employment scams? Why are they effective? Some people think we have these scams because first, we have high unemployment level, so lots of people are very desperate for work. But second and most critically, we have a high level of crime as well. So you have lots of fraudsters and thieves and rapists who are looking for easier ways to get victims. And so they prey on the unemployed. Back to that thing I was talking about earlier on when I said everything do be government do. Now, on the other side, some people say that you also have a law enforcement problem. They say if the police were cracking down seriously on employment scams, they wouldn't be so rampant. And you just heard my caller Demola say police is capable of doing a lot of these things. Now just who they find, now they go for. Because it's not hard to track scammers. Twitter people tracked Udwak Frank Akban in less than 3 days. Why can't the police do the same thing? Next week on Balogun and Broad, we're going to talk about these employment scams and investment scams. We'll talk about that. The idea is to help you identify them by asking the right questions, knowing what to look for. Next Wednesday, 5 p.m., 12th of May, we'll have this conversation. But today, why are employment scams so rampant? That's my question. What more should the police be doing to crack down on them? 0700-993-993-993. You heard Mrs. Aigbe when she called in and she said, all of these jobs should be on the table of the local government area, the councillors, etc., etc. But like I said to her, these things already exist. We don't need restructuring for those things to happen. They are already part of what the local governments are supposed to be doing. The state and local governments already have the right to set up employment matching programs. They already have the power to monitor things like this. If they're not doing it, whose fault is it? Mrs. Aigbe likes to think it's the media, and I'm saying it's you, the civilians. Kende is in transit. Hello, Kende.
Hi, how are you doing, Sandra?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay, but not with the news we're hearing every day. Deaths here and there, pretty pathetic. Would affect mental health. Wondering who could be next and all. Well, with this instance, it's pretty sad. I would like to say the Nigerian police, when they want to walk, they walk. Sandra, let's give it to them. But then this is where I have a problem. This bad trait that seems to have we've imbibed as a people, Nigerians now, is pay me before I render any service. Whether it is my duty to give you that service without receiving payment or not. Sense of entitlement. And it's killing us gradually. It's killing us slowly. I had a case some time ago, went to the police station to report, and I was taking off 20,000 because I came to report. I should pay 20,000 at a police station. Something I thought, just put down my statement, they would come in and do what they need to do, and that would be it. But hey, you have to pay 20,000. You have to do this. Even the guy who took the statement also had to, rip off his boss, telling me, tell my boss it's 10,000, I'm keeping 10,000. I'm going like, is this what this country has turned to? It's sad. Now, for the Twitter family that did what they did, I would say right now they should be the ones.
They don't charge me account or card maintenance fees.
My bank has even charged for a debit card I don't have.
My Kuda card was free and delivered to my house free. I have never paid a naira for owning this card.
What about transfers?
Kuda will give you 25 free transfers to other banks every single month for the rest of your life.
You're right, Sha. Shadi. Is your hotspot on?
Better use your own data.
Shadi.
Kuda Microfinance Bank gives you an account with free transfers, a free card, and zero ridiculous fees. Break free now. Get Kuda on Google Play or the App Store now and open a full bank account in a few minutes. Kuda, the bank of the free.
99.3 Nigeria Info, your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
Kende, apologies for that transition there. Sorry about that. We've got 4 minutes to the top of the hour. You're listening to Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Every Monday we start with the biggest stories that broke over the weekend. And as far as I'm concerned, there was only one story this weekend, and it was the shocking, horrible murder of Ini Umoren, a young woman in Uyo, Akwa Ibom, who went missing after going for a job interview, and the police confirmed that she was raped and murdered by the man who asked her to come for that interview. Now, I have so many questions. one of the questions is why employment scams are so rampant. How can law enforcement fight employment scams without, you, the citizens, mobilizing them? You heard Kehinde when he was talking, when he called. I hope he does call back. You heard him call and he said, I had an issue and I had to settle before they could, come to my case. You heard Demola say police is very good when they want to work, but they need sometimes for the people to grease their palms first. How do we get to a point where that doesn't happen? And I'm also asking if you think that the police and the government handled Ini's case properly. I say government because Oduak, the alleged rapist and murderer, went to tell a local government chairman about what he had done. He told the local government chairman what he had done, and the local government chairman, instead of turning him into the police, smuggled him into Cross River State, allegedly. He wrote that in his statement. In the statement we read from the police, that's what we saw. So have law enforcement and the government handled this matter properly? Did the police and the authorities handle this thing properly? Have you been following this story since Thursday? How did you react when you first heard about it? And now that you've seen how it ended and how it's going, because investigations are ongoing still. The body of the deceased is in a hospital. The police PRO said that they were going to carry out an autopsy to see cause of death. We have the family members asking to see the corpse of their family member. And all of this because she went to look for a job. She told her friend where she was going. She shared the number of where she was going for the interview. She left her location on. She did everything she could to stay safe and still. We'll take a final call. 99.3, hello. Thanks for calling.
Hello?
Yes, hi. Thanks for calling.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is...
Thank you for calling.
I'm glad to actually reach you today, Sandra.
I'm glad to have you here.
So this issue of Granny, I really feel bad for that lady.
Yeah.
And I don't know why in this our country it's so hard to get justice.
Yeah.
Some time ago I had issue with the police and I went to the police to make statement, and police told me, first of all, they asked me to pay 10,000 naira to write down statement. Then after that, for them to go and make arrest, they have to pay the sum of 150,000 naira.
Wow.
So we plead that because I was not actually having much with me. At the end, they collected 120,000 from me. And after all, nothing tangible was actually done, and I felt really bad. So going to the police when you have issue in this country is like you are even wasting your time. So I just pray that justice will be done for that sister,
Yeah.
So it's so hard, it's so touching.
Thank you very much for calling. We appreciate it. Well, that's all the time we have, unfortunately. I wish we had more time. But don't forget, 12th of May, 5 p.m. on Balogun and Broad, let's talk about employment and investment scams, because a lot of you are also putting your money into investments. We'll talk about why they are so effective and how they are so effective. I'll teach you the things to look out for so that you don't fall for an employment scam, number one. And number two, you don't fall for an investment scam. Balogun and Broad next week, Wednesday, 5 p.m. Set a reminder so that you're a part of that conversation. Up next, have you ever gotten your caution fee back? I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. It's 4 o'clock.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.